Message center, Tommy. I like the idea. I can imagine it in a mud room so that you can write a note for the kids coming in or out. It's got a couple hooks here at the bottom. Maybe you hang the dog's leash or some keys.
Yeah.
Pretty good idea. This one's, you know, a little small, a little chintzy.
A little small. You can't leave a lot of messages.
No.
But I got an idea that we can build one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we take some cues from a window itself with the casing and the stools,
nice.
We can make one and size it the way we want to size it.
Beautiful.
So I went to the home center and I bought some material. I bought some flat stock, some 1x, and I even bought some Colonial trim because it's a pretty common trim, but I would imagine you could go to the home center and match your own casing detail.
And where were you able to get the chalkboard back? Was that the home center too?
No, that's also, they get it at the home center. This is a nice sheet right here that you can leave your note on.
All right, so we will make it bigger and better than this. Where do we start?
Well, we'll start by building a frame out of 1x3s. We're just going to use simple butt joints and use some 2-inch screws to hold it together. The window casing is going to attach to the face of our frame about 1/4 of an inch in on the edge. We've already cut a 45-degree miter on the top casing. Some wood glue and brads make a strong connection. The top casing is mitered on both sides, and that mitered joint also gets secured with wood glue and nails.
Come out of touch.
And then right in there. That'll do it. Yep. All right, we've got our 2 sides and our head casing attached. Now, if we look at the one that we bought, you can see how they did it. They actually took a piece of 1/2-inch material and they put it together and just mounted a piece of chalkboard right behind it. But I wanted to really give this more of a window look. That's why I have these extensions or these stops made wider and deeper.
All right, so the chalkboard's going to sit back here. It gives us that depth.
Exactly. It also gives us a wider window stool on the bottom for shelf. All right. Now, we could leave it like this and it would probably match the trim in your house, but if you wanted to dress it up a little more, which I think I will, we'll take a piece of 1x4 here, put it on top, and then on that we'll add a piece of crown molding and return that on each end, and that'll dress it up.
That's going to be nice.
Okay. We'll make an outer frame of 1x4 poplar for both the casing and the crown molding to attach to. Keep it even on the bottom. This little scrap piece of wood acts like a cleat to hold the top of the casing so it won't twist in. Flush.
Flush.
Now we can mark and cut the miters for our crown molding. And then glue and nail the joints. All right, let's take a look and see what we have. Our casing is on, our crown is on. We've built up the sides to give it some depth. Now we're ready for the stool. We'll all sit on there just like that, flush on the back. Now, before we install the stool, I want to round over the top and the bottom of the front edge and both ends with a roundover bit. So we'll line it up like that. Now we want to install an apron underneath the stool, and we want to return it on itself to give it some thickness. That will give us a place to mount some hooks. Now we can cut our chalkboard to size. Okay, now we just lay this right on top of our inside stops, just like that. Nice and tight, and I'll tack it in place. And then we'll cut a piece of 1/2-inch MDF for the entire back. All right, let's take a look. There you go.
Wow.
All right, you get a coat of paint on that, put some hooks on the bottom, hang it on the wall, and you're in business.
That is a huge improvement over what we started with. Nice job.
Looks pretty good.